For the first time since 1994, Michigan is off to the Sweet 16. On this weekend in March, they use the Palace of Auburn Hills as their home court advantage. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Inside Michigan Basketball, the final edition of our program this year. I'm Matt Shepard. There were a lot of doubters when Michigan was tabbed a 4 seed in the South region. I think those people conveniently forgot just how good the Wolverines were prior to the Big Ten season and just how difficult the Big Ten season is as a whole. It served the Wolverines well in Auburn Hills.
Our game, our time to show we know it now. And a lot of you have learned through the thing. We learned the hard way with any of our losses. Defense is going to win today. Defense is going to win, right? You want to run, we can run on that, but you got to defend and get it out. Defense is going to win. So this is our time to show that that's fully understood right now. Secondly, that we know how to communicate. We don't want any soft voices today. No freshman voices today, right? No voices that are, no, just yell something. Even if it's wrong, yell something out. And actually, we're relentless in blocking out and getting rebounds. Just relentless. They're going to be relentless. That's one of the biggest things that concern me right now is they are so quick to the ball all over the place. They got guys going in. We got to be the same way. How do we grab a ball? Do we get it with one?
2 hands.
Right? Do we dribble it out? No, we grab it with 2 hands, strong possession. Okay? And then finally, we guard our yard. That's what it comes down to today. You got to get in front, get in the stance. Don't say, where's my help? Guard your yard. Everybody else is in stance. We're there to help, but we're not dependent. When we guard our yard, we're really good. We're really good. I know you're ready for this challenge, right? It's a wonderful opportunity. Let's go to Texas.
Play the game as hard as you can play it. 50-50 balls, rebound, strength with the ball, be strong, make sure you play the game with power. You may play it with your love. This is what we do. Enjoy the game. Go out there and have fun with your brothers. Fight the good fight. Enjoy the game. And then lastly, with a sound mind. And coaches hit on, we've got a game plan. You prepared well. In the heat of the battle, have a sound mind. Play with poise. Play with purpose. Play with that passion. And when this game's done, 40 minutes game, we're going to sing that fight song today.
It's 40 minutes of opportunity. It's a special day, Trey, because what Coach Meyer said is very true. Together with a spirit of power and togetherness. See, I'm sick of hearing about it. Like, everybody keeps talking about them. So we got to give a reason to talk about us. That's what we get, 40 minutes of opportunity. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired of hearing about it, Mitch. Let's talk about what we're gonna do. Because we're gonna run it right up their neck, and go right at them. That's power, that's how we're playing today. So it's gonna be a special day, TB, but play together. Show everybody how much you love playing together. Because if you go out there and take advantage of the opportunity, guess what, Max? We get to play together again next weekend.
One is doing something well together, okay? So when you go out there, have a spirit about you, have an aggressiveness about you, have a free-flowing enjoyment about you that allows you to go out there and know that you're one of the top teams in the country. We have all that we need, we have all the hands that we need, but you gotta go out there and do it together. Now stand up and put 2 hands on the board. Okay, come on up here and put 2 hands on the board. Don't worry about getting a little bit of black dry erase stuff on your board. Because what this game is going to take today, find a spot, put 2 hands on that board. That's the way you can. We're going to need all hands on deck. Here we go, Coach.
Michigan looked focused, yet loose in warm-ups, and it carried over into the game. They started strong behind Tim Hardaway's outside game, a second consecutive NCAA tournament where Hardaway set the tone.
It's Tim Hardaway for 3. Got it from the right side. A deep 3 to push the Rams back a little bit, and Michigan leads by 5.
It was Hardaway outside and a dominating inside performance from Mitch McGary.
Right mid-post, leans in the lane, comes up short. McGary with the follow-up good.
Man, Mitch McGary has had a terrific first half.
We can have games like that every single night where everybody contributes, not just scoring, but in different ways. Mitch McGary was the best player out there tonight. 21 and 14 points. He was a guy that he gave us intensity. He gave us sparks throughout the game.
You know, so much was made of the VCU full-court nonstop pressure, but the Wolverines broke the havoc consistently, and it led to easy hoops.
Reddick takes it back up, overshot the hoop, punched by Stauskas to Robinson, right side for Burke. Burke to Robinson, lays it up, lays it in. Michigan on a roll, 32-19.
U of M would score 18 points in the paint in the first half, shoot close to 50%, and own the battle of the glass en route to a 15-point halftime lead. The second half was no different. Michigan did what really good teams do when they smell blood. They take away hope. Trey Burke found a groove and would finish with 18.
Johnson had it knocked away by Robinson. Quickly up the right sideline. Looks left. Dishes right. Burke for three. Give me that!
And Glenn Robinson was taking what the Rams defense would give him, scoring 14 on 7 of 10 from the floor.
Reddick missed the jumper in the lane. Albrecht with a rebound. Push pass up ahead. Robinson jams it down. What a left-handed bounce pass feed. Freshman to freshman and lead. Michigan leads at 54-35.
We do a great job of running the floor and getting on and going, and that's something that we like to do. And hopefully we can continue that throughout this tournament, you know, and keep advancing. That's our goal.
Michigan would lead by as many as 31 and turn the Palace into a circus, with McGarry taking the lead role, dominating VCU to a career high in both points with 21 and rebounds with 14.
Bounce pass from McGarry, lays it up and in. Mitch McGarry with 19, Trey Burke with 6 dimes.
It was the Michigan defense and transition offense that wreaked all the havoc Saturday afternoon. U of M puts a 25-point hurt on VCU, their worst loss of the season, and Michigan marches on to Dallas behind a 78-53 win.
Our coach, Lavelle Jordan, talked about it before our game. He said he's sick and tired of hearing about this havoc. And we took that personal, kind of saying that they were going to come out and just smack us in the face. But once we beat that press that they so-called called the havoc, it was easy for us to get layups.
A lot of people doubted us. A lot of people didn't think we would get to the Sweet 16 and don't think we would get any farther. So we tried to use that as motivation. We tried to go out tonight and play as hard as we could, and not just play hard, but play smart. And I think that's why we won.
With us playing this way, I mean, it's going to be hard to beat us. I think that we still have to get better from this. We're going to go back and work on some things that we did wrong defensively and offensively, and work better on both of those, and then make strides from that.
Yeah, it's a little confidence, a little swagger, and a little edge to this team now, and it's great just to have that going into Texas.
When we come back, we'll talk with the head coach. What was the key to victory, and how do these freshmen be able to handle such pressure at such a high level? All that and more after this. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, mottchildren.org, and by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com. So a 25-point win for John Beilein's club to reach the Sweet 16 against a team that averages wins by more than 18 points per game. It's pretty well dissected by your club offensively and defensively, don't you think?
Yeah, really proud of the way our guys play defense, because they have a high risk, high reward type of defense. So if we could stop them, we can score. And then I really like the way we attack their pressure. We got a couple of easy baskets in that second half. When they started, they got down to 9 or they got to 11, and we answered right away back with press-breaking baskets.
You and I talked the other day about your freshmen not being overwhelmed by the moment. Were you impressed with your young club and how well they accepted this challenge?
You know, there's one thing that I think has been advantageous for our young team is that three of them have gone to prep school. And that was that 1 year that really helps them be a little bit more mature as freshmen. But at the same time, to have two guys playing this game until the 19-minute mark that have ever played an NCAA game. 2 guys. And they're 2 good ones now. And those other guys to play, whether it was Spike, whether it was Glenn, obviously Mitch, terrific job out there. Karras, they all did such a good job the whole game long.
This VCU club forced 22 turnovers against Akron, forced 20 on average on the year. Did your guys get tired of hearing about that quote-unquote havoc defense a little bit and say, you know what, we got something to prove too?
You'll have to ask them. I sensed that a little bit, that everybody was talking about the havoc defense and that we would get rattled by it and the battle of the guards. Here you had a team that is leading the country in turning people over, and you have us who are the anti-turnover team. So it was a battle of wills there, and I really liked the way it turned out.
Mitch McGarry was unbelievable. Not just energy. Too many times we label him an energy guy. He's got wonderful skill, too, and I think he displayed that with his 3rd career double-double and career highs in points and rebounds.
Yeah, he's got a skill level that right now he's understanding how to embrace it in a positive way. Don't let it be a negative that you see and you can pass so well by trying to do too much. We say hit singles. We say be good before you're great. It's over and over again because that's what great players really do. They make a lot of simple, good plays. And the more he learns that, his ceiling is so high.
Let me bring up a guy who probably won't get a whole lot of pub, but Spike Albrecht matched a career high of 15 points. He allowed you to do some things, dribbling the ball and breaking their pressure, that maybe not many other teams have a luxury of.
Yeah, in his 15 minutes, there's a key thing. He gave Trey a break. Because Trey, we were going with Trey unless he was in foul trouble the whole way. We got a five or 6 days to rest. So we wanted to, you got to keep Trey in there, but Spike gave us very needed time on the rest. He was going north-south on those guys as quick as they are. So that was huge. His 15 minutes and his huge 3. I mean, that was a big-time 3. I mean, it just, you talk about Mitch bringing energy to the team and Glenn's dunks and Glenn's runs and all these things that Nick's a terrific player. Spike, the team loves Spike. When he comes in there and plays, they like playing with him.
Before John Beilein and the Wolverines could book travel plans to Dallas, they had to beat not just VCU, but South Dakota State. When we come back, how did the Wolverines get rid of the Jackrabbits at the Palace? That's next, right after this. Welcome back. In order for Michigan to get the matchup against VCU on Saturday afternoon, they first had to dispose of South Dakota State on Thursday night in the opening round. They needed a strong second half to take care of business, where they outscored the Jackrabbits 41-30. They shot 51% from the floor for the game, building momentum, building confidence, and feeling like the 15-point cushion was back to what Michigan basketball was really all about.
Coming out of the second half, Trey passed me the ball wide open 3. You know, I knocked it down, and then from there on out, you know, my shot felt good. I felt in rhythm, and, you know, I complimented my teammates for getting me the ball at the right spots, right time.
Defense, wins games and wins championships, and that's what we've been stressing all season long. So we're just going to come out, every game we have a chance to, and just come out and play as hard as we can on defensive end because we know offense will come.
It was a confidence booster on a defensive end. I think in the gap and on defense and grabbing loose balls and rebounds was just, it was phenomenal tonight, and I think we played well as a team.
I think a lot of us have kind of picked your team apart from afar. When the Big Ten season began, we forgot just how good you were early on. Did this team place closer to that level tonight?
You know, I think that we played really well. We've done that several times. What is really good about today is Jordan Morgan played 1 minute. So we had only 2 guys on the court that have ever played in an NCAA game. Tell me one team in the country that is doing that right now. So this commitment that we made to these guys, we're sticking with it, all the time. I think Jordan Morgan will play more in the future, but it's a good thing for us to be able to perform like this. And people can pick us apart all they want. We're fine, but the future is very bright, and we'd like to make this season last as long as it can.
Tim Hardaway was really special early on. Did you get a sense that your team realized that Trey Burke was just not in his offensive groove and somebody else needed to step forward?
Well, I think that's, we play off Trey's action so much, and there's no question he's been the volume shooter several games, and there's other games he just looks for other people. So, I mean, he's had times where he's 15 to 18 to 22 shots in a game. Today it was 12. Right? He knew he didn't have some of the things that he usually have, and that's big for our other guys to really do what they did.
This was a really good shooting team, but they only scored 56 points. I thought your defense led to your offense. Is that a fair assessment?
That's when people ask us about things, and they say, okay, well, how come he's not getting enough shots or he's not getting enough shots? When we stop people, we get shots because we can run the floor and get some good opportunities. So by getting those stops today, it was huge for us. That was our defense against a very difficult team to play because they were stretching us out so much. They got big men that can shoot. That was a hard guard for us, and I really loved the way we responded.
You said your young guys, obviously not too big for the moment, but Glenn Robinson looked like he was in a groove and so comfortable where he was on the floor and shooting the basketball. There's no hesitation from him whatsoever.
No, without question, and that's when he has been assertive like that. And I'm not talking about put your head down, go to the basket, and just make a play. I'm talking about just read the game, shoot the shots that when you're open, that's what Glenn can do.
Stay with us a little bit later on why the Michigan football team has spring fever. And we'll check in at the Joe and see how the Wolverines do on ice. But up next, the women's version of the NCAA tournament as they open out west in Palo Alto.
to Inside Michigan Basketball. The women's team opened NCAA tournament play Sunday night as the 8th seed against Villanova in Palo Alto, California. Rachel Sheffer powered the Wolverines to an early lead. The senior scored 7 points in the opening 20 minutes. Jenny Ryan hit back-to-back three-point shots to stretch Michigan's lead to 7. Ryan with 11 first-half points, but the Wildcats finished the half with a 7-0 run, cutting the Wolverines' lead to a single bucket. Michigan used a 9-0 run at the start of the second half to run away from the Wildcats. It was Michigan seniors who controlled the game, beginning with Rachel Sheffer, who scored 16 points and grabbed 13 rebounds. Kate Thompson bombed in 17 points, Jenny Ryan had 13, and Nia Jordan finished with 12. 60-52, the Wolverines eliminate Villanova and advance to the round of 32.
It's really cool for our program, you know, to go to the second round. I don't think it's happened since 2001. So, and just being a part of that, it's really cool for our senior class and for me, you know, to be a part of, to look back on. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go home. And I mean, we're in Cali, so I'll stay here as long as I can.
And we have such a great group of kids. They were really excited about the opportunity, but they wanted to do something special and something that hasn't been done at Michigan in a long time.
A win is a win, and we're just happy it was done in the NCAA tournament. We know it's not been done in over a decade, so I just think it speaks to the work of this program that's gone on this entire year, and we're just happy that we got it.
The win was Michigan's 22nd of the season, and the program improves to 3-5 overall in the NCAA tournament. The Wolverines advanced for the first time since 2001, and they'll face top-seeded Stanford on Tuesday right here in Palo Alto, California. Complete highlights of that game will be posted on mglobue.com. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, mottchildren.org, and by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com.
Welcome back to Inside Michigan Basketball. I'm Anthony Polidano, coming to you from the Al Glick Fieldhouse, where spring football is well underway. We'll have football news in a moment. But first, Red Berenson's hockey team was going for an historic championship at the Joe Louis Arena. Michigan finished its unlikely run at the program's 10th CCHA Tournament Championship Sunday afternoon with a loss to Notre Dame at the Joe Louis Arena in the league's final game after 42 seasons. The loss ends any hope for the Wolverines of making the NCAA tournament field, which Michigan had been a part of for 22 consecutive seasons. The big news in football this week was, of course, the injury to linebacker Jake Ryan, who led the team in tackles a year ago. Ryan tore his ACL on Tuesday. The team had its first scrimmage of the spring on Saturday. Things are progressing for this group, who is heading into the third year of Brady Hoke's system.
We only should get better from here, and that's what we talked about this spring. And we just got to get better practice by practice.
What do you think the biggest benefit is?
Well, for me, it's not only knowing my job, you know, it's knowing what other people do, so I can take chances and risks, and that's how the great players make plays, because they know what everybody's doing on the field, and that's how I want to get.
Compared to springs I've been in the past, the leadership on this team and the things that we're doing as an offensive and on defense, it's going to be special.
The 2013 Mott Spring Game, presented by PNC Bank, is scheduled for April 13th at 1 o'clock over at Michigan Stadium. That's it for the news around the athletic campus this weekend. I'm Anthony Polidano.
Anthony, thanks. And our thanks to you for staying loyal to Inside Michigan Basketball all season long. That'll do it for this season of Inside Michigan Basketball. You can follow the Wolverines tournament run for as long as they last on mgoblue.com. Until then, have a great offseason, everybody. We'll see you back here next year on another edition and another campaign of Inside Michigan Basketball.